Woo! I'm ready for some football. What's up, fellas?
Oh, man, just coming back from a wedding. Congratulations, Patrick Evans and Kristen Evans.
Shout out to the Evanses,
But yeah,
or just the Evans. Hey, welcome to the pod. Good to see you
Woo.
again. It's been a whole calendar year. Handsome
What's
as
up,
ever.
fellas? Thanks for having me.
Dude, always glad to have you on. We got to have our Dolphins expert in from time to time. As much as it pains me, but still, great Dolphins fan nonetheless. Great football guy nonetheless. But I guess we'll get it started off here. Gabe, what stuck out to you last week as our guest of honor?
Man, I think the Jets looking like a decent football team offensively was kind of a shocker, especially against the playoff hopeful in the Texans.
Yeah.
With the whole Zach Wilson drama in New York, is he going to start? Is he going to play? I think him coming in and having a decent performance is good for him. I don't know if he's going to play there next year, but I think that was a good for his confidence at least. So that was definitely the surprise result for me for the week.
Absolutely, especially him being quoted, I think, after or it was something like that. Where it's like, well, I have nothing left to lose. Like, what are they going to do, bench me again?
yeah, exactly.
And I was like, yeah, dude, that's hell yeah.
Like, he's got a point.
Yeah, it's like, there are worse teams to get benched on, you know? But, yeah, Aaron, what was your game?
Vikings Raiders.
Dude, no.
The barn burner.
3-point killer, dude.
I love a good defense. That's like an SEC game, man. You know, that's like old school Bama LSU.
Oh my god. And then Jetta's getting hurt again, dude.
You know,
That's tough. That's going to ruin some people's fantasy season.
Absolutely.
Holden.
Holden was banking
R.I.P.
on
Holden.
him coming back. Hey, it's okay. You know, thankfully the last 4 or 5 years he's not done very well. So the bar was low. The bar was low. That being said, I'm in the slums with him as well, so I have no room to talk. But that is something. That and Josh Jacobs getting injured. I know he hasn't been huge this year after being the rushing leader last year, but you know, just a lot of injuries. Weird game. Did Josh Jacobs get injured, or did he just not start for some reason?
He got benched.
Oh, good. The guy they traded for, who won some games with the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, that makes sense. Poor guy. I love the pass or not.
They only traded like a 7th round pick, I think, right? Like, it wasn't anything significant.
Dude, he's our
I think it was a
generation's
6th or
Ryan
7th.
Fitzpatrick.
Oh my god. All right.
I'm telling you,
He's a journeyman, dude. He's been on almost every team.
Just like Josh McCown. I'm just saying, like, he's collecting jerseys. He's got to start having a bunch of kids to fill them all with, you know?
Oh my gosh. I mean, we'll see. We'll see later on in his career.
All right, I'm trying to decide my game. I'm just gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna be biased here. How about the Bills getting a must-win? Backs are truly against the wall. We win in the Arrowhead. Only quarterback to beat Mahomes in Arrowhead 3 times. I love it. I loved how absolutely pissed off Patrick Mahomes was too. I was just like, cry more. I want more of these sweet tears. I was just like, oh, you didn't play by the rules and the ref called it by the book and you're upset. Like, don't be wrong, sick play, epic play.
Oh yeah.
As a former rugby player, I'm like, there should be more laterals. It's open every time.
For sure.
Will it ever be executed like that again? Probably not. But I'm like, dude, you got beat. And that happens.
I mean, I think it was well said by Big Cat and PFT that they weren't not admitting that it wasn't offsides. They were just saying during that moment you can't throw that flag. And that kind of reminds me of a certain play in a certain gigantic game.
Like about a year ago, roughly?
Like a ticky-tacky call that, you know, let the boys play, you know? Oh, wait, was that against the Eagles?
It was. That was for their latest championship. That was part of the Chiefs dynasty.
Imagine how that happens. So I think it's more appropriate to see how he reacts in this type of adversity, knowing that the plays might not go his way.
Yeah, truly agree. I really do agree with that. But it was also huge. Got to silence a lot of haters, a lot of people, a lot of Bills fans I know were critiquing McDermott's defensive play calling late in fourth quarters, giving up the 13-second one, the Minneapolis one last year, so on and so forth. So it was awesome to see us close out a game that we were leading, and also our statistics on winning one-score games not great either. So to get a win in that category, also great. We got a tough task this upcoming week against Dallas after they just thumped the Birds. So, but anything's possible. But we needed to win that one. So that was my game of the week. Just speaking on it real quick, the Eagles losing to the Cowboys, that was another standout. And the Bears showing some signs of life, beating these Detroit Lions. The Bears. And these Lions kind of, I don't know, slipping further down for seeding. So that was interesting. But enough with last week. Let's get into this week. Got a ton of games here. Saturday football is back. Just like I need another excuse to not do my chores on the weekend. So let's start off here with Gabe. AFC matchup here. Chargers, Raiders, potentially no Justin Herbert with a fractured finger. Hate to see it. Who you got here? I believe Las Vegas is favored by 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Raiders, especially because it doesn't look like Herbert's gonna play. It's at Vegas. Chargers defense has struggled as we've seen all season. So I think the Raiders come out on top on that one.
Yeah. No, I like it. Aaron, where you at?
Yeah, I'm on the Raiders too. Without Herbert, this team just has a defense now, and it's not really much to talk about. So I will say with the injury to Josh Jacobs, that does kind of make things a little more interesting. But I think Devontae Adams and O'Connell can get it done there. So
no, I'm totally with you. I'm just like talking about these two teams. I want to see Khalil Mack be on one more team. I know it'd be his 4th team after that, but he's had a solid year, or at least some solid games. I would love to see him on a true contender on maybe a team-friendly deal just to really get a Super Bowl. He did play college ball at Buffalo, so that would be sick. But that's just me, being
just
a little more than partially
dots.
biased. I'm just, just like verbal meme, Charlie Day, in the basement,
yeah,
just really putting it all together.
Dude, if you guys can get out of the
Von Miller
contract.
Dude, he almost had his first sack of the year. Well, actually, almost twice, and almost a strip sack, allegedly. So, I mean, real awkward on the legal front, I'm not going to lie. Especially because I'll admit it, I'll own myself. I'm a little bit of a social justice warrior at times. So, it's a really weird one for me. But at least it's not bad as Matt Ariza, the punt god. So, take your wins when you can, I guess. That being said, I'm on Vegas. This Vegas team has some fight. This Chargers team has been so frustrating. I'm wondering to see if they actually fire their head coach at the end of the year or not. Because if you're not getting it done with Herbert, I don't know how you are. And I'll fuel the rumors that Bill Belichick will go there. That would be something to see.
Ooh.
Holden's on the Raiders as well. I'm having the Raiders -3 on my card. I like them at home. This Chargers team has no fight without Herbert. Keeping it rolling here to not quite as a competitive a game here, unfortunately. Vikings going to Cincinnati. They're playing the Bengals. Aaron, AFC North expert here. Are the Bengals just going to roll? They look good with this backup quarterback. I hate to say it.
I mean, yeah. I don't think Minnesota has really anything figured out at the quarterback position. Jetta's just went down again. I think, Addison has looked real nice, but and Hawkinson's kind of consistent, but with nobody at the helm, trust me, as a Steeler fan, I know the quarterback problems really hinder a team's chances to win.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, I do. And if I think Browning went out with an injury during the game, but I think he came back.
I think that's right.
Okay, so as long as Browning's healthy, this team can go as far as he takes them. And as far as I can tell, not that bad.
Yeah, all right, interesting. Gabe, do you think that eventually Browning will have to come back down to earth?
I think so, yeah, but I don't think it's going to happen this week against the Vikings. They're playing at home. The Vikings, as Aaron just said, just played a 3-0 barn burner, so they don't have much going for them offensively. So I'm gonna pick the Bengals in this game as well. I think Browning does eventually come back down to earth, but I don't think it's going to be the Vikings that pull them back down.
I hate to say it, I need the Bengals to lose some games. I need pretty much every AFC team with a winning record to lose games. Holden is on the Bengals as well. Smart man. I'm going to make it a quad pick. I'm on Cincinnati. As a betting man, I'm going to take -3 at home all day. April, if you're listening, you're going to like that pick. That's Patrick's mom. She's a huge Bengals. She called herself a boomer Bengal. And she's all on Joe Burrow. She made me promise her that I would let her on the pod if they made it to the Super Bowl. But that's not happening this year. Not going to happen. All right.
If the Bills can help it.
That's right. Even though we already lost to them and they'll hold a tiebreaker over us. But that's for another episode. Aaron.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I hope so.
It's your game of the week, dude. The Steelers, they're traveling west to Indianapolis. All right, they're going to play the Colts.
Is that west?
How are they going to win? It's west.
Yeah, it's west. Okay.
Almost
West-ish. West adjacent.
It's west. It's like a state over.
Yeah.
It's on the other side of Ohio.
So
I know geography.
Oddly enough, we are not favored on here, but the matchup predictor thinks we're gonna win on ESPN.
That counts for a lot, I hear.
It really does. The analytics that go into ESPN's point system here. Look, I think the Colts are beatable. I do. I think
sure.
Gardner Minshew has played well in that QB position. I do think Zach Moss has played kind of well as well. I don't think their defense has actually been that amazing because they're still giving up points, but they are scoring as much as they're giving up. So it's really going to come down to if all the Pittsburgh defensive players that were questionable after last week's game come back and are somewhat healthy. I know TJ Watt got kicked in the face by Ezekiel Elliott, so need a little jaw massage at the beginning of the game. But I will say, just for a positive for the Steelers, that Mitch Trubisky fought back. I will say he did not take it lightly, even though he still threw into coverage, typical Mitch Trubisky. But we found a way to claw back and get some points, and I like that grit with this team. I completely understand if you do not want to pick the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. But I will say, after there's a stat out there that the Steelers, after a loss of 20 points or more, they are like 10-3 since Tomlin's era.
That's a good stat.
So
that is a stat.
It's a stat, and because I'm biased, I'm gonna keep rolling with my team, even if it keeps gut punching my bets. So,
dude, I love it.
Go Pittsburgh.
I'm all for it, dude. I love that. Gabe, are you gonna break Aaron's heart or shall I?
Sean,
I'm actually not. I'm actually going to ride with the Steelers this week.
No way! What? Oh my!
I have such a high opinion of Mike Tomlin, and I think Gardner Minshew is kind of a turnover-prone quarterback. I think the Steelers can do enough defensively to keep this a low-scoring game, and I think Mitch can do enough to get them, drag them over the finish line. I think it's going to be like a 1 or a 3-point game, but I actually like the Steelers in this one.
So Indy is favored 2.5 on ESPN at least.
Yep.
I think Steelers as a 2.5 dog. I don't.
That's about
hate
right.
It.
That's about right. That's a field goal game. That's about right.
So, yeah. Appreciate that, Gabe. Thanks.
Hey, anytime.
Well, you know what? Dang. Sorry. I'm gonna let Holden break your heart. He's on the Colts, and that being said, Aaron, we happen to be at a certain point in the season where your team has something that my team needs: a playoff spot. So the more you lose, as much as I hate to see it, and you know what, I'll go on record, knock on wood, that if for some reason the team that I root for were not playing in a month or so, I would be rooting for your team if they were playing at that time. That being said,
your honesty.
Without Kenny Pickett or offensive production, I am with Gabe. If TJ Watt balls out like earlier in the season, how y'all did against the Browns, against the Ravens, definitely can win this game. Indy is a very beatable team. But that being said, I gotta roll Indy here.
Okay.
They lost a tough one against a pretty decent team, and 2.5, I could see them laying just enough for that, especially the way they run the ball. But so I'm gonna
add you to the list.
No, the list of doubters. Yeah, we'll do the live react if I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm on Indy, and I'm gonna take the points on my card. Keeping it rolling here to a super weird game, a game I don't think 2 months ago we would have thought would have been competitive. Denver at Detroit. Detroit favored 5, maybe too many points there. Gabe, help me make heads or tails of this.
Oh, man. I mean, heads or tails is a perfect way to describe this game because I feel like you could flip a coin and let that decide the result.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with the Lions at home. They really need to bounce back. They haven't played well the last couple of weeks. They just lost kind of a stinker to Chicago. I'm gonna stick with the Lions. I think they can get it done at home. I think Dan Campbell is going to get it figured out. The defense is going to start playing a little bit better. And I think Jared Goff can stop turning the ball over. So I'm going to pick the Lions in this one.
All right, Aaron. Is Detroit going to cover the spread? They're going to lay the points.
Oh man, it's perfectly said that this is a coin flip because even without Denver being favored, they're still playing good football. I hate to admit that because at the beginning of the season, I mean, Gabe, you should know this feeling. Dropping 70 on a pro team is either an anomaly or it's because your team is fucking awful. And for the better part of the beginning of the season, they were fucking awful. But they've gotten things together. Mr. Unlimited's playing well. I might be riding here, boys. I don't know.
Let's ride.
You know what? I'm riding. I'm gonna stick with it.
This probably that's not even partially biased. They're fighting for the same playoff spot your team is.
You know what? All right, fine. I'll go Detroit. I need them to lose. You're right, Sean. You spoke some sense into me.
That. I gotta keep your record away from my record here. Holden's on the Lions. I am as well because I'm partially biased. I need this Denver team to lose. They hold the tiebreaker over us. We should have won that game. All these games that the Bills should have won are coming back to bite us and haunt us here as we seem to be playing some of our best football. Detroit -5 is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This Denver team that is playing well and playing teams close. I'm going to stay away from it, at least for now. Who knows, come game day, I might slip it in, but I'm keeping it off my card for now. Moving on to just an absolute barn burner of an AFC matchup. Kansas City going all the way up to New England. New England off a bye, I believe, because I saw Bill Belichick on College Game Day.
No, they were not on a bye.
Oh, that's
Thursday night.
Mini bye.
I mean, when you play the Steelers, it must be a bye, dude.
That's not what I mean by that. It's so funny. I should have had that. I should have known that because we literally talked about that 2 games ago. But Kansas City's favorite -9.5. Gabe is an AFC guy. Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, not off 1 loss, but 2 losses, and very visibly PO'd. Are they laying the points here? 9.5 against New England, bad team.
I think they are. I would hate to be the Patriots this week just because I feel like Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are going to take out every ounce of anger on their next opponent. And I just really feel for the Patriots. Now, I mean, they are playing Belichick and, he's a defensive mastermind and has been for a long time. So I could see them keeping it somewhat close, but I do think the Chiefs pull away in the second half. I have Chiefs, definitely covering the spread.
All right. Aaron,
Yeah,
you've faced the wrath of this Belichick team most recently, as you just reminded me. Do you think
Bailey Zappi is him, dude?
I still think they need to extend Mac Jones. I think he's worth it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Keep him in the division for as long as you can.
At least like a Daniel Jones deal. Who's better than him right now on the market?
Right.
Definitely not Caleb Williams.
Yeah, no, I want to see the Patriots obliterated. So give me Kansas City. Give me the scorched earth Mahomes. I'll take that all day, every day.
Oh, dude, I need Kansas City to win some games. I think it'd be hilarious if somehow they were a wild card through and through and just had to be on the road and just live a life they haven't lived for quite some time. But I don't think that's going to happen. I'm looking through Holden's picks because there's a different order than mine. He's on the Chiefs. I'm on the Chiefs. We're going to make it a quad pick. Yeah, dude, I still hate New England. It would be funny if somehow they won, but seeing them be eliminated from the playoffs this early is just phenomenal. So, and I will take Kansas City -9.5. I think it is full scorched earth.
Yeah.
But then again, what if it's just a stumble from here on out? What if this was the last? I don't know, but I'm looking to see.
I will say this. I wouldn't mind seeing the Patriots win and just wreck their draft position and not get a quarterback. So kind of a win-win, either.
That's big brain.
Yeah, thinking long-term here. Chess, not checkers.
Yeah.
One way for Belichick to completely tarnish his reputation with Robert Kraft is to give them worse draft position.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like a parting gift. Like, here's the 4th overall pick.
Yeah.
Do with that what you will.
Yeah, it's like good luck with that. Good luck with that. Tons of cap space, I'm sure too. Keeping it rolling here. Divisional matchup: Atlanta at Carolina. Who wants to win the NFC South? Not Carolina because they're eliminated. Atlanta favored -3 here. Aaron, Atlanta lost a tough one. Do they bounce back, or does Carolina somehow get a little bit of hope for next year?
Carolina has no hope. And again, like for these teams, I said this last week with New Orleans. I think it's since they are a team that has something to play for, which is what would have to be the 4th seed. I got to take Atlanta here, and Ritter actually did show some poise against the Tampa Bay Bucks last week. So
Yeah. Over
Pitt's got in
400
the
yards
end zone.
passing.
Pitt's got in the end zone.
Can't
I don't
believe
know. It doesn't happen often, but give me Arthur Smith and his ragtag team of really high draft picks. Atlanta.
Okay. All right, Gabe, are you riding?
Yeah, I'm with Aaron. I just don't think the Panthers have anything to play for this year. I mean, the coaching staff already got fired. Like Bryce Young hasn't looked great, and like Aaron said, Atlanta's still fighting for a division title. So I'm gonna go with Atlanta.
Yeah, I'll keep it easy. I'm on with Atlanta as well. Add -3 to my card. I feel like this Carolina has just been, I don't know, they've just been bleeding every single game. I'm really racking my brain to find a game that they were competitive in, or maybe even led at one point.
Houston.
Sure.
They beat
That sounds
Houston.
right.
That's their one win.
Oh yeah,
They did beat Houston. They also had a 14-0 lead against the Dolphins at one point.
That's dude.
I know.
Oh my God.
As
I made that
good as
same
anyone
face when
else.
they went
That's
up.
exactly how y'all wanted to play that game. You're like false
Right,
sense of hope and just crush them.
I wasn't sweating at all.
No.
I mean, hey, how fast that offense is, I don't blame you. It's like this could change in like 2 minutes. Like, Holden is on the Panthers. I don't know how that's not a typo. That's really weird. I wish he was on here to explain that. If he joins us, we'll definitely
Washington
bring that back up.
Can't compete, right? There's no way.
They technically have not been eliminated.
I mean, that might be the one.
Technically, the only 2 teams who have been eliminated are Carolina and New England, and that was.
I see Holden's angle here. Draft picks. If the Panthers win, the Commanders have a chance to maybe catch them on the reverse standings. I think is probably his angle.
Fair. Yeah.
That could be something.
That's the only logic I can apply to that.
Yeah, I don't know, unless he just
doesn't want good teams to win. I don't know, or not even good teams, but just better teams.
I don't know. Maybe it's because what's his face? Heineke is the backup for Atlanta, and he's like he would hurt for him to see Heineke in a playoff game potentially. I don't know. There's a lot of mystery here, a lot of mystique for no reason. Gabe, it's that time. Game of the week, man, dude. The Jets. They're coming down the South Beach. Always ready to lay the thumper against them a couple of weeks back around Thanksgiving for Black Friday game. Favored by a whopping 11.5. So tell me how it's going to go down.
I'm going to pick the Dolphins to win. I don't know if they cover 11.5, but I mean, we beat them at MetLife on Black Friday by like 20. So I think when they come down to South Beach, you might see a similar result. Although if Zach Wilson takes care of the football and plays like he did against Houston, I could see it being a little closer. But I'm going to pick Miami to win, but I do think the Jets cover.
Wow. Okay. All right. Aaron, thoughts?
Yeah, Miami. Dude, it's in Miami. Come on. This is a no-brainer. And like I can appreciate how well Zach Wilson played last game there. Obviously, everyone thought Houston was going to roll them. But, sometimes you say this all the time, Sean. Sometimes a squirrel finds his nut. Like sometimes a broken clock's right once or twice a day. So I think it's still going to be Miami. Probably not as many points as last time because I think the Jets defense is kind of stepping up a little bit. It's a division game. Might have had some juice coming off of last week. So still Miami to win. So.
All right, Holden is on the Dolphins. Me myself. Hate to say it, I'm on Miami. As much as I would love somehow for the Jets to maybe sneak one off here, but dude, it's Miami. They thumped this team. Like Gabe said, unless Zach Wilson kind of has a repeat of taking care of the ball and being effective, I think Miami wins outright. I think they win big. I'm absolutely taking -11.5 at home. Miami knows what they're playing for. The Jets are just on an absolute lifeline, so there's just no way. But that's what I'm going to roll with here. Moving on to a surprisingly competitive football game. Chicago traveling not far to Cleveland. Cleveland favored -3.5. Joe Flacco. Elite Joe Flacco. Announced the starter for the rest of the year. He looked good. He almost looked like, why is this dude on a couch somewhere? Like, was that by choice? Like, I only feel like playing about half a year of football.
Drug test him. Drug test him right now. right now.
Dude,
I don't buy it.
You don't buy it?
With the Jets, I think he had better weapons, and then now he's just playing amazing on the Browns. Like, nah, drug test.
Hey, maybe it's the organization, man. Maybe it's tough. Maybe Robert Saleh's system. Maybe Nathaniel Hackett's system. That wasn't even their offensive coordinator last year. It's just all too complicated. Joe Flacco, he's a simple pocket passer, God. There's something you can just trust about him back there, with experience. But Aaron, how much does it hurt to see Joe Flacco succeed with another AFC North team?
It sucks. I don't like seeing it. It's like if any of all teams, why couldn't you just come to us? You could have talked to us. We could have talked about our relationship.
Bro, there's no way.
You could have tenured it.
I don't even
I think
know.
I saw something today that he was named the starter by Cleveland, but technically speaking, he went back to the practice squad and still is able to be signed by a team, should he choose.
I don't know about that.
So I'll read you the Adam Schefter post. All right. So
is that from today?
Yeah, it was from today around like 12:30.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right, that's weird. I don't know about that because I think he's on the active roster because they have that one rookie.
So here's it says Joe Flacco. This was 6 hours ago. Joe Flacco has reverted back to the Browns practice squad, and at the same time, he is also now eligible to sign with another team's active roster, despite any interest Flacco wants to remain in Cleveland. So he could sign with another team.
I mean,
but he's probably going to stay in Cleveland.
I would imagine. I don't know who would. I don't know. I mean, he looks good. He looks good right now and in the system and with that
I don't know
defense to
any
lean
team
on.
that needs a quarterback right now.
I mean, if you were the Jets like 4 weeks ago, like he was just sitting on the couch. Yeah, I mean, he was just sitting on the couch, and he played for the Jets last season, like we just talked about. Like, you're telling me the Jets didn't think one time to call him and be like, "You want to come sling some footballs for us?" Like, that makes no sense to me.
They already had a very old quarterback on the roster too, so it's not like, well, we don't want to get older. We want to stay a young team.
Right.
I'm surprised they didn't give Phillip Rivers a call, Big Ben a call,
Matt Ryan.
Yeah, anyone. Shoot, even Brett Favre, dude. Frick it, just
Jesus.
Why not?
Yeah, I hear Joe Montana's waiting for that phone call, dude.
Dude, Kurt Warner,
Yeah.
Go get Joe Namath while you're at it.
Yeah, dude. I'm sure his arm's still good.
No.
He's still got arm strength.
No.
Broadway Joe.
That man's brain has so much CTE, like a national treasure. I hate to say it, but just don't. Like, it's like him and Lee Corso. I just, you love them, but it's just
Lee
like,
Corso.
So this is what this looks like when you get old, huh? Like, it's like, has me, thinking about health and safety and all that. Anyway, I forgot we were talking about. Aaron, pick this game. Are you picking Cleveland or Chicago? That's what happens when we start talking about Flacco, an elite pocket guy.
Actually, no. I need Cleveland to lose. I need Chicago. I need Chicago to keep playing well. And my big partially biased, because I'm dead last in our picks. Might as well just dig this hole a little deeper. I'm going full bias, dude. Give me that Fields to DJ Moore connection. That would look phenomenal. Plus the Chicago defense
is looking good.
Stepped up.
It's a saving grace for that coaching staff to keep their jobs, I think.
Yeah,
for sure.
But
as much as the fans want that, yeah, man. Just trying to I still believe, dude. I still believe.
You're still the one. Gabe, are you gonna ride with Aaron on this?
I'm not. I'm gonna go with Cleveland. I think Flacco has looked good. Their defense is still lights out. I don't think Chicago's offensive line has any hope of stopping Myles Garrett. So I'm gonna ride with Cleveland, and also like I told you earlier, the last team I want to make the playoffs is the Bills. All due respect, Sean, just because when Josh Allen is on, he is tough to stop. So I'm gonna pick I want every AFC team that's fighting for the wild card to win, so that the Bills stay out. Is my logic.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, dude. That's sound logic. I even said it weeks ago. I was like, if we don't win the division, we will be a scary wild card team.
No,
a very scary wild card team. So. With that being said, let me see what Holden's on this. He's on the Browns. Whoa, shocker, surprise. Shocker. Golly, dude, I want to be biased so bad and pick Chicago to win. I think they have a chance. Like, if there's a team that's going to maybe, give Cleveland some woes. It's someone who has an athletic as a quarterback as Justin Fields, But I think it's Cleveland here. They're a good home team. Joe Flacco's looking strong. there's a chance. What if we saw a little old Joe Flacco, like of the last 2 years? You
Nope,
know,
don't want that. Don't want that.
Not
at
old,
all.
old Joe Flacco, but like,
Not Super Bowl
old
Flacco.
Nope.
Joe Flacco. Like, it's like, this is why the Ravens
geriatric.
moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. But I'm gonna stay away from the spread. I mean, if I wasn't biased, I would maybe attempt -3.5. But for the record's sake, I'll pick Cleveland. Chicago proved me wrong. Let's keep going to a game that has no AFC implications.
Please.
It's all I think about. It's been keeping me up at night. The New York Giants are going to go down to the Big Easy to play the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans favored by -6. They had a big win this past week. 6 seems kind of like a big number for a Giants team with some fight. Granted, we're recording on Monday, so we don't know how the Giants-Packers game is going to shape out. But it just seems kind of like a lot. But Gabe, what do you think about it?
Man, if I could pick one game to not watch this weekend, it'd probably be this one. This is going to be tough on the old eyeballs. I think I'm going to pick the Saints because they're at home and their defense is still pretty solid. If Derek Carr can take care of the ball, I could see the Saints winning and covering, but that's a big if. I'm still going to pick the Saints. Not sure on the. I would stay away from this one if you're a betting man.
Yeah, I agree with that. Aaron, do you concur?
Yeah. I haven't really had a lot of time to watch Giants football recently, so I can't tell you if they're getting better. I know their defense statistically is looking a little better.
Won 2 in a row. I could be wrong.
They did just activate Tyrod Taylor off IR, so there's a chance he starts.
But
maybe
the passing Paisano, dude.
The passing.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they beat the Giants and then the Pats, and then they had a bye week. They're coming off a bye to play the Packers, but
I don't know. I'm gonna stick with New Orleans because again, they still have something to play for. Yeah. Albeit, Derek Carr playing with 3 broken ribs, 2 of them people didn't even know about.
Really?
He mentioned that on a interview, and he was just sort of like, "Why'd you tell us that now? What's the point?"
It's like, solid excuse.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, dude, I've been playing like shit because I'm hurt.
It's like, wow, he's really out there. He's out there just playing his heart out for the people of Louisiana,
I would be interested to see if the Giants covered, though. Because they've been playing teams close. But yeah, I'm gonna pick New Orleans. Just I like Kamara better in this situation here. So
Kamara's been quiet. I'm going to pick the Saints here just because of their home team. I'm not surprised if the Giants cover or if they somehow find a way to win this game by just taking care of the football. But to just repeat what Gabe said, I'm staying away from the spread. I'm not touching it. It's a very weird game, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Let's see where Holden is on this bad boy.
He's not picking the Giants.
No, he's not. He's on the Saints. There's no way he'll never pick the Giants. I still want it to be so funny. So, Gabe, I don't know if you know this, but Holden's dad grew up in Connecticut, West Connecticut. So he's a Giants fan.
Interesting.
Holden, a Washington Commanders fan. And I don't know if you were aware or saw on Facebook, but him and his wife are expecting a child.
Yes, I saw that.
Going to be a boy.
Holden.
Congrats, Holden.
Yes.
Dude, congrats on sex. No. Pull out game 0. No.
Weak.
Terrible.
Horrible. Just we're going to have to adjust that on the Madden rating. Anyway, I thought it'd be funny if his kid somehow ended up being like a Philadelphia Eagles fan or like a Cowboys fan. Just like the cycle continues, kind of like the Avatar, the Airbender. Just like every cycle, it's a different element.
Dude, what if he was a Cowboys fan?
Holden would have a hard time.
House divided.
I think he could live with an Eagles fan somehow. I think with a Cowboys fan, there's just no way. There's just
right.
No son of mine roots for the Cowboys. Dude, think how awkward those Thanksgivings would be.
Because they're going to keep lining them up every Thanksgiving. And it's going to keep going for years and years. And I know his
or that close to Christmas. It's like, well, son, I guess you're not getting any Christmas gifts this year.
True.
This just writes itself. This should be like a sitcom or something. I don't know.
Honestly, yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't cover this on the league. So he's on the Saints. Aaron, you got anything else to say? Sorry, I might have cut you off.
I was gonna say I think some of his other family members are Cowboys as well.
His in-laws. He has some in-laws who are Cowboys fans. That's always the biggest thing to me. There's so many people around here in DC or even Richmond who are Cowboys fans. I just don't get it. It's like
a lot of Cowboys and Eagles fans around here.
Eagles make sense because of the 95 corridor.
Sure.
but Dallas was like, wow, you really just like might have like grown up in the 70s or 80s or 90s, and just like we're like, well, they're a good team. I'll roll with that,
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how many fans are just gravitated to 5 or more Super Bowl wins. It's kind of an easy thing to do.
I get it when you just have I refuse to acknowledge the Cowboys as a good organization. I can't do it. Not in the Jerry Jones era, but one last tidbit on the Saints. Oh.
No, sorry, go ahead.
Jaden Daniels won the Heisman. Shout out
yeah.
or
LSU.
Yeah, that was LSU.
Yep.
And all I'm saying is draft eligible Saints, pick the hometown kid for the Big Easy. I love that for them. So, Aaron, tell your brother,
Yeah, he was super
jersey.
excited watching Jalen Daniels win that because
I
don't know.
Tear it up.
He had like 50 total touchdowns, like through the air and on the ground. So
I think he technically had better numbers than Joe Burrow. I could be wrong, but
I think you're right.
Yeah. So just kid's a stud. He's good. Just get a team around him and good decisions. But getting back to Pro Ball here, we got to keep it rolling. Tampa Bay at Green Bay, the Battle of the Bays. Ooh. The northern one, Green Bay, favored by 3.5 here. Again, Green Bay is playing tonight, so I don't really know how they're going to look. Aaron Jones has been on the IR. Kristen Watson is not playing tonight as well, so they're a little banged up. And Tampa doesn't look horrible. Gabe, what do you think of this game?
I'm going to go with the Packers because they're the home team, and I'm assuming December 17th it's going to be pretty chilly up in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
And I think nipply.
Yes, Aaron Jones isn't playing tonight, but I think he'll probably be back next week, and I think that'll give Green Bay's offense a good boost. So I'm going to pick the Packers.
God, love it. Aaron, what do you think?
I like Green Bay as well. Like you keep saying, Sean, Lambeau's a crazy place to play in the cold. And so,
it was so good under Rodgers. It was like you were so lucky to beat them in Lambeau. It was automatic almost.
Home field
automatic
advantage.
Is a Christian McCaffrey touchdown, let me tell you.
But yeah, give me Green Bay. I think their defense is kind of buttoned up a little bit since the past couple games, against Pittsburgh, and then I forget who they played after that, but they look better. I'll take Green Bay there.
Dude, love that. Speaking of love, Jordan Love, the past 3 weeks, kind of looking. You like that transition? I just came up with that, dude. They just don't hand out media degrees to anyone. Am I right, Gabe?
You're absolutely right.
You got to take on some debt, then you get one.
Oh yeah, it's all about the cost.
Dude, hey, it's a business. Any college will tell you. Real quick here, Holden, Packers, go figure. But yeah, Jordan Love's past 3 weeks really ascended. Was a fan of him at Utah. He was a starter there for a while. A lot of experience, some time to develop. Been looking good, thriving in the coaching system. I'm gonna take Green Bay as well. I'm gonna stay away from it betting wise. I always am gonna have a soft spot for Baker Mayfield, and Mike Evans. So maybe they have a chance.
He might look good in a Steelers uniform. Who knows?
Who? Mike Evans?
Baker or Mike Evans? Oh my god,
dude! Honestly, Baker would.
How about both?
Yeah, seriously, package deal. I'll give you George Pickens and Mitch Trubisky. I think that's fair.
That was the thing earlier this year. Mike Evans was potentially going to sit out because he was looking for, I assume, the last deal of his career, and definitely a future Hall of Famer. What was it? 10 years or 10 seasons of over 1,000 yards.
10,000 yards for 10 years.
Absolutely insane. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I think Baker is a free agent. Actually, I could be wrong.
Yeah, after this season,
I think he is. Yeah.
Dude, back to the AFC North, just like that other guy that we don't talk about anymore because we're done talking about that game. AFC matchup, Houston, Tennessee. Somehow Tennessee is favored -2 in this one. No, it can't be.
It's him.
It's really him.
It's
Holden. And
That's
this is
music.
partially biased.
Yeah.
The show with biased takes from biased fans. Partially. Woo! Holden, you joined just in time, dude. We were just talking so much smack about you, and we got it all out of the way. So now we're good to go. Whatever you do, don't listen to the first 30 minutes, Holden.
I'm gonna skip right through it. I hope you guys already covered the Washington game.
Oh, dude, you wish, bro. We got that one coming up in 2.
Dang.
Right now we're just on Houston, Tennessee. Holden, how is Tennessee favored -2, man?
Dude, I don't know. It could be CJ Stroud. Maybe that head injury, that concussion, potentially
Little
worse.
more, yeah,
Easily.
Could be
potentially.
Nico Collins out, Tank Dell out, losing a lot of pieces. Team's falling apart a little bit after a little bit of a nice run for the Houston Texans.
Absolutely.
But I'd still take the Texans here.
Really, to win, or you the spread money line?
I mean, I take them a win.
Okay, all right. Wow, there it is. Dang, that's crazy. Other AFC aficionado, Gabe, where do you stand on this?
Yeah, this is a bit of a cop out, but I'm going to see if CJ Stroud plays, I'm taking the Texans, and if CJ Stroud doesn't play, I'm taking the Titans.
That's
Dude,
fair.
not a cop
I think
out. We
that's
do that on this show all
yeah, we do.
the time.
I am actually going to tail that. That's exactly what I think.
Wow, real original, Holden.
Sorry,
Come on, bro.
sorry.
Aaron.
Gabe's an expert.
Dude,
Gabe is an expert. He's a big J
I
journalist.
know.
That's for damn
I know.
sure.
I'm kind
Golly.
of in the same boat because
No, you can't tell.
the Titans have been playing a little bit better on offense recently. I will say that. I mean, they were able to bring the Colts game to 28-31. That's still scoring a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
I just it's really going to depend how they play tonight, but I think I am going to stick with my gut and go with Houston.
Let me tell you something here. I partially want to cop out and tail Holden and Gabe, but I'm partially biased, man, dude. I need Houston to lose some games. Need the Bills get in the playoffs.
You're picking the Titans?
I'm gonna pick the Tennessee Titans. Music City Miracle be damned, dude. I'm gonna pick them. I'm gonna go for it.
No, I'm scared now, dude. I kind of want to pick
Home
Titans now.
team. I need D Hop to get me like 20 points to win my fantasy game tonight. If there's a game for they're gonna be passing a lot against the Dolphins. I got a good feeling.
Why do you need to win your fantasy game? Just out of curiosity.
Just because I'm playing Burke. If it was probably anyone else, like if it was Andy or Patrick or Kevin, whatever, I don't care. But just because it's Burke, and he, I think, is dead last in our league, and I don't want him to have that over me, I got to start thinking about toilet bowl seating,
Understand.
Understand. Yeah, thank you for understanding. Oh, gosh. All right, let's go back to the NFC here. San Francisco is going to be at Arizona. San Francisco favored -13.5. Very similar spread to last week against Seattle. Was not able to lay the points. Holden, we're going to come back to you just because, I got to get it all out of me. I missed you earlier in this show. So where are you going on this?
We go the Niners. Niners have, I believe, they control their own destiny for the number 1 seed. They've beaten the Eagles. They've beaten the Cowboys. If they win out, they are the number 1 seed. Road to the Super Bowl goes through San Francisco. I think San Francisco is going to win. I definitely think the Cardinals can cover this 13.5. That's a big number. Cardinals coming off a bye week.
True.
They're a lot better. They're a lot better with Kyler Murray under center. So I would take the Cardinals to cover, but I'll take the 49ers to win.
Wow, love it. Gabe, let's keep this in a sort of order here. Where you stand on this?
I am maybe the biggest Kyler Murray fan in the world.
Really?
But I'm not going to pick Arizona to win this game. If the 49ers maybe had maybe if they were less healthy or if they didn't look as dominant as they do, maybe I'd be a little ballsier and pick the Cardinals to win. But I'm going to pick the 49ers, but I agree with Holden. I think the Cardinals can cover the spread.
Oof. Okay. All right. Wow. Aaron.
It kind of makes me wonder how good this Arizona team would have been if Kyler started the entire season.
I think pretty good.
With Zach Ertz and Trey McBride showing up out of the woodwork, you wonder if they could run some 2 tight end set or something like that, or if they could have gotten Hollywood Brown going. But this is a simple choice. It's a division game, so then maybe they'll cover, but it's San Fran.
This is true. San Fran, best team in the league right now. Guys, are we buying the hype of Brock Purdy MVP?
He leads every statistically important statistic for quarterbacks right now. You have
I believe the best QBR in the league.
Yeah.
As well.
Passing percentage. Really good.
I think MVP right now, I would probably pick Dak over him, but I don't know.
Really?
Dak has balled out the last month and a half. Brock is definitely in the conversation, but I think if I absolutely had to pick one right now, I'd go with Dak.
Yeah.
makes me sick, but I believe the books do have Dak favored at plus 175 to win MVP right now.
Yep.
It's disgusting.
Dude, all I'm saying is don't let Josh get hot, man.
I mean,
It's not too late.
It's not.
It's not too late.
It's not
I still
too
got to
late.
take it out on Lamar, so I'm going to stick with Lamar Jackson, MVP.
Sure, why not? I mean,
Or if Tyreek Hill breaks the record, Tyreek Hill.
oh well, yeah.
That's my partially biased take. Is if Tyreek breaks the record, I don't know how anybody else can win it.
Yeah.
Agreed. I think you have to get
Well,
it
he
to
can't throw himself the ball, Gabe.
Tua too, yeah. I hate that like the Tyreek or Tua discussion has become like people praising Tyreek and like shitting on Tua.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like you can praise them, but like I think they both had a really good season. I do
Yeah.
think Tyreek is kind of the unstoppable force of that offense, but I do think if you take Tua out of that offense, Tyreek doesn't have the numbers he does.
Agree. You got to shout out to Anon for sure.
I don't know. Skylar Johnson had just as many points on the Bills last year.
That was last year.
Oh, I mean, it kind of makes Tua look a little systemy, doesn't it?
You could make the same argument for Brock Purdy, though.
You could. You absolutely could.
He's got Kittle and Ayuk.
Absolutely.
So.
Dude,
But I mean, I didn't see fucking Sam Darnold come in there and drop 40 points. I don't know. I'm just being difficult. Anyways.
Why are you being so gosh darn difficult, dude?
Because
his Steelers lost and they stink and they're not making the playoffs.
Do you see this?
Oh, Holden coming in hot.
Do you see what we have to do? You can go and hang up, Holden. That's fine. We're
Holden,
good.
did you bet Steelers win total under again?
I did not. I don't think.
Yeah,
I did not
I
do
think
it
I took
again.
the
over.
I did not do it. No, it's not that I was scared. It just
It was
just did it again.
we were set at 10.5. So we
No way, y'all were
literally
at 10.5.
Yeah,
Y'all were
we
set
were.
at 10.5.
Yep.
That's very high.
That's very high.
I wish I took the under.
Surprised it was that high.
Yeah, that seems very high.
I'm gonna double check that after this. There was something I wanted to say about Tyreek Hill, but I really can't remember. I'm on San Fran here. They laid this amount of points earlier in the year, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take that, add it to my card. I know it's outrageous, but they're gonna find a way. Let's moving on here. Maybe if I remember that Hill thing, I was gonna say we'll come back briefly. But Holden,
Yeah, what's up?
bro, I hate to do this to you.
You can do it. It's fine.
It's your game of the week. It's your game of the week.
Oh, nice, dude. That's hype, bro. Let me get
Dude,
really
did the Rams
juiced up
even
for
go
game
back
day.
out to the West Coast, or did they just stick around the DMV after playing Baltimore?
That's a good.
No, because Washington
question.
sucks. His team sucks.
Dude, why you gotta kick him when he's down, bro?
What? He just kicked me.
No, I didn't kick you, bro. I punched you. You kicked me.
All right, well, enjoy that.
Yeah, he came square
Yeah, dude,
across
I
the
don't know.
jaw. You know, you were.
I feel like this could be some weird one. I feel like the Rams just had a very gut-wrenching loss in OT,
did.
right? Where it was just like had a good. I mean, they were in prime position to make a run. They have been making a little bit of a run. This team's a few years removed from a bowl. They still got some pieces. Cooper Kupp's looking nice. I mean, I was getting really nervous for this team.
Yeah.
Puka's nice too. I mean, they're all nice. But I just feel like this is going to be some stupid Washington. We're going to find a way where we're like number 2 or number 3 pick, but we're going to win a meaningless game for us that doesn't really help or hurt us. And we're end up going to drop to like the 6th or 7th spot in the draft order. And we'll just find a way to like win this game. I don't really know if I want to win. I don't really care if we win or not because I'm just ready for next year already. But
yeah,
I think we're going to win. I want to see Sam Howell continue to develop. I'm ready for Ron Rivera and Eric Bieniemy to take a hike. But I want to see my team succeed. I still want us to try and look good. I think Aaron Donald gets maybe 2.5 sacks, but I think Sam Howell has a good game, and we find a way to win. Going Washington.
I love it. That's a partially biased pick if I ever heard one. Now, Holden, 2 quick things. All right, I did my Pro Bowl votes today. If you haven't done, check it out. It was actually kind of more fun than I remembered. I totally forgot that Sam Howell is still top 5 in passing. Is there a shot at him making the Pro Bowl? B, why is any Washington offensive line up for the Pro Bowl?
I mean,
they should both be taken. Andrew Wiley should be taken down for sure. If anyone votes for Andrew Wiley gets any votes, you don't watch football.
You don't know ball.
And you don't know ball. If Andrew Wiley gets any votes, you don't know ball. And I think Sam Howell definitely has a shot because I think you might see like a Brock Purdy and a Dak and all these guys. So I think he's going to end up being like an alternate because somehow they're going to go further in the playoffs or something. So you'll probably have him as an alternate, but I think he could still lead the league in passing. I think that would be pretty neat to do in your first full season as a starter.
I mean, spin
he still has a good
does that potentially keep Eric Bieniemy but in a head coaching role, because you're like,
I don't think
whoa,
so.
he had a league-leading passer.
Dude, I would not get
We're not
rid of
putting up
Eric
points.
Bieniemy.
I would.
No, what? Well, you guys are definitely putting up points. Take it from
No,
a
we're
guy
not.
whose offense
No, we're
is
not.
struggled
Every
No,
other
we're
week.
not.
season.
We're not putting up points. It's
Oh
not
my
consistent.
gosh.
Nope.
Yeah.
Better than
No.
not every week.
We're not putting up points.
I mean, but you're consistently putting up the same amount of points. Like,
we put
and
up
you
10
fired the
points
offensive
against
coordinator.
Dallas. We put up 10 points against Dallas. We put up 7 against the Giants. Like, no, you can't do that in the division.
We put up 10 points against
So
Houston.
true. So true.
So,
but before I get to
Anyways.
the picks of this, I remember the thing I was going to say about Tyreek Hill. I think a big thing that gives credit to Tua is look how far Devontae Adams fell off without a competent quarterback. Like it's a little more than system. So I think that speaks a little bit of more volumes towards that. So that was the little thing that I remembered. So, Aaron, what's your pick here? Washington or Los Angeles Rams?
I'm gonna take Los Angeles. Just because apparently there was a bunch of blocks in the back that weren't called during that final special teams play.
Although not
allegedly.
surprised.
I mean, albeit that was still a really good game. I thought between the Ravens and the Rams. So I'm gonna I'm gonna pick the Rams, and they'll probably continue to roll here against Washington.
Oof. All right, Gabe. Are we hurting Holden's feelings here?
Unfortunately, yeah. I think the Rams win it. The game is in LA. I think that's a long trip for the Commanders to make.
You're right.
As somebody who was a diehard Rams fan for a day yesterday, there were in fact a lot of block in the backs. I was so hoping the Ravens would lose that game.
Dude.
And I think the Rams looked really good. They turned the ball over a couple of times, and their defense didn't have the best performance, but the Rams are playing for something. They're playing for a wild card in the NFC, and I think the Rams take care of business.
I mean, gosh, what is it? Kerryon Williams? Holy cow. What is it? 10 tutters on the year?
Yeah, the Rams draft class is really putting up some numbers. I think Kyron was a draft pick last year, but he was hurt, and now Puka this year. Cooper Kupp is back. Aaron Donald's having a good season. This Rams team could be dangerous if they make the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. All depends on the health of Stafford. I'm sorry. I'm going to ride the Rams here as well. I'd love to be wrong. Because teams off a bye usually do all right. But yeah, flying to the West Coast, all that stuff. I'm on the Rams, and I'm going to take the points at 6.5. That being said, it's time for Holden to maybe hurt my feelings here.
Time!
My game of the week, dude.
Yeah.
Dallas, coming to Buffalo, coming to Orchard Park. A battle of two Titans, two potential MVPs. Dak Prescott, Josh Allen. Bills got to win out. I've been seeing the statistics all over the interwebs. Bills, quote unquote, have a 90 or it was like 99% chance to make the playoffs if we just win out. So let's just win. Let's be a good home team again. Let's beat a good team at home. Let's find a way to play some nice D. Josh, let's take care of the ball. That one interception, not a great one. Other part of the game, absolutely bonkers, insane. That's why we live by you, die by you. Partially biased for a reason. I'm going to take these Bills. I'm going to take -2.5. I don't know why we're favored in this game. I think that's something we talked about this whole episode is how no team really wants to see this Bills team in the playoffs. But the way that Dallas played last night against a division opponent who was in the Super Bowl last year, I think this really should be flipped. But that's just me. So that being said, I'm going to kick it to another AFC guy. Gabe, tell me why maybe I shouldn't be so hopeful.
I'm starting to sound like a broken record by saying I definitely don't want the Bills to make the playoffs, and this is partially biased. So I'm going to ride with the Cowboys. They had a really impressive win yesterday. They've been playing really well. I just mentioned I think Dak is the MVP front runner. I think they keep that going into Buffalo. Michael Parsons can cause some trouble, I think, for Buffalo and their offensive line. So I'm going to pick the Cowboys in this one. And sorry to break your heart, Sean.
Hey, it's okay. I'm a realistic fan, more or less. This is gonna be a tough one. I always knew we were gonna have a tough stretch. It's one of those games where you look back at the Cincy games, at the Denver games, or the Jets week 1, and you're like, wow, it would have been really great if we won one of those, so we could have lost one of these on the back end.
I also think if the Bills lose and the Dolphins beat the Jets next week and take care of business tonight against the Titans, I think the Dolphins have the AFC East locked up.
Ooh. I have not taken a look at that, but I'll believe you. I know, obviously.
No, I think that's right.
I believe
that's right.
Because I think Miami would be 11-3 and Buffalo would be 7-7.
Yeah.
Yes,
that
that's
is
true.
correct.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which would just be another great thing for me. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, hopefully that's wrong. Aaron, I know you hate Dallas.
I do hate Dallas.
You hate
Who
them
doesn't?
so much. You really want to hear Chase talk about how good the Cowboys are?
No,
for
I
another
fucking
week?
don't, dude.
I know
really
he lets you
fucking
know
don't.
Aaron, we can see the pain in your eyes for this pick.
I just, oh man, I need
How's
to.
Dak Prescott out of domes, huh? How's he in cold weather? It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be chilly in Buffalo.
I mean, look, man, I'm having such indecision, dude.
Today, Junior.
I gotta pick Dallas, dude. I have to pick Dallas.
Dude, what is?
I'm sorry,
swear,
dude.
bro.
Dallas is just looking too good right now, and like you guys are playing well, and albeit I think Kansas City's defense is a little better than the Dallas Cowboys defense, at least in the secondary.
Oh no,
So
Stephon Gilmore.
Stephon Gilmore has been playing well, dude.
That other
And
guy, 8
Bland,
interceptions. Bland,
yeah.
thank you, Richard.
Deron Bland.
But they
Ron.
were picking on him during the 49ers game, dude. They were running his lunch. So I don't know. It's gonna be a barn burner. I think you guys will cover, but it's got to be Dallas.
We will see. Holden.
Wait, you think the Bills are going to cover? Aren't the
Yeah.
Bills favored? So you're picking the Bills?
Oh shit. No, never mind.
You're picking
They're
Dallas
not
to
gonna
cover.
cover.
You're
sorry.
picking.
Yeah.
All right.
Stab
I
me in the
am
heart.
also
Yeah.
partially biased, so I have to pick the Bills here.
There
I
you
hate
go.
the Cowboys.
Dude,
I don't want the
smart man.
I don't want the Cowboys to get home field advantage. If they get
Dude
any
knows
sort of
ball.
advantage, this team actually could be really tough to beat, and I don't want that. I don't want to see the Cowboys in the playoff conversation, the MVP conversation, but here we are. I still think the Bills. I mean, yes, the Bills did get away with a close one. I think it's huge for that team. It kept their season alive. Here's another one where they can do it again. Josh is going to lay it all out there. A little disappointed we don't get to see Diggs versus Diggs in this matchup.
Yeah.
But
Good point. Excellent point.
Stephon Diggs had such a basically did nothing last game. He is going to, I think this is a huge
He gets triple
game for him.
covered. Gabe
I
already
think
told
it's
us.
Well, he dropped like
big
2
bounce back.
screens. I mean,
Yeah.
it would have been a lot, but it's like it hits him right in the hands. I'm like, what happened, bud?
Yeah, this is going to be a big bounce back game for Diggs. Coming off a slump game. I want you guys to win. I don't want to see the Cowboys do well. I think the Cowboys have a very tough schedule to finish the year. I believe they play you, then Miami, then the Lions, then us. So I want to say that Philadelphia is still favored to win the division, like minus 350 or something like that. I mean,
because they play
have
the
a very
Giants
easy.
twice.
They have a very easy schedule. So
That's weird.
I just want them to just fall off. So screw the Cowboys. Give me the Bills.
It'll be nice if they came cocky. I am intrigued to see how we'll handle Michael Parsons because I think we did a deep. I mean, Chris Jones is just a game record, but we were able to kind of like, I guess, pick and choose our battles at the line at that point, or still kind of handle it to a degree. So I'll be interested to see how that works and test our offensive line. Moving it on here, 2 games left here, fellas. Baltimore, number 1 AFC seed here. They're going to travel down to Duval to play the Jags with banged up Trevor Lawrence off a loss. Baltimore only favored by minus 3.5. Gabe, I know you got a lot of skin in this game, so tell me what's going through your head here.
I do indeed. I'm going to root for the Ravens essentially, or root against the Ravens essentially for the whole rest of the season. So Miami can get that 1 seed and the road to the Super Bowl can go through South Florida. Instead of Miami having to go play a cold weather team, let's see all those cold weather teams come to Miami and play when it's 90 degrees outside. So I'm gonna root for Jacksonville, and I'm gonna pick Jacksonville. I think they're gonna be kind of coming off a loss. They're gonna be kind of hoping to hold off Houston for that division for the AFC South. It's a big game for Jacksonville. I think that the crowd is going to be fired up for that one, and I think Jacksonville can do enough to win that game. So I'm going to go with the Jags in a very biased pick.
Wow. Hey, we love biased picks here. We love them. We live for them.
I do like biased picks.
What's your deal?
I want to pick Jacksonville, but dude, after that showing they just had against Cleveland, Baltimore's arguably a better team than Cleveland. There ain't no way Jacksonville is going to run these numbers if that defense can't stop anything and if they're just going to turn the ball over all the freaking time. So I'll take Baltimore. Probably, I'm not going to say a blowout, but the way that the Browns handled the Jaguars.
I mean,
We
Trevor
might be
Lawrence
looking
throwing
at-
what 3 picks did not
Yeah.
help, and they still kind of had a chance at the end. But
Yeah.
It could be very blowout adjacent.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'll take Baltimore.
hold on,
Yeah, I mean, this is a biased pick just because I have Lamar Jackson MVP. So, typically when it comes to an MVP team, you need a really good team. You need the number 1 seed type deal. You need Lamar Jackson to have a really good game.
You also
Give me
need the
Ravens.
Zay Flowers.
Oh, thank you for
Yeah.
reminding me. I need Zay Flowers to pop off. I need him to average 82 yards for the next 4 games to catch
Really?
a fatty. Yes. And so I need him to have like a really nice
yardage,
170
offensive
yard
rookie
game.
of the year, What is
Yardage.
it?
1,000 yards.
1,000
Oh,
yards
wow.
for the year. Plus
Cool.
700 ticket.
Whoa,
Let's
love
go,
that.
Zay.
Yeah, need Zay.
Yeah, I should have bought some flowers. Whatever.
That's nice.
That was beautiful.
You in course, right?
Keep going,
Dude,
dude.
I used to be. I don't know the other words, but I know that next one rhymes in when I was your man or something like that. I don't know. Anyway,
Shout out.
dude,
Bruno Mars sponsor.
Bruno Mars, sponsored by Bruno Mars. 21 diamond, whatever, 21 carat in the air. That's what it is.
Play that song for this segment.
21 Karat Magic.
Oh, that's what it is. Thank you. I feel like
Jesus.
old
Run us our
women
check,
love
Bruno.
that song.
Yeah.
Run us our check. Yeah,
Run us
he's
that
really needs us to plug his music. Yeah, really needs
It's funny
that.
when I hear Bruno Mars on the radio. It's like I always kind of want to change it, but I find myself listening to the whole song. It's like I don't know
Songs are
why.
catchy.
He's catchy,
They are
yeah.
catchy.
They're quite catchy.
Also, his halftime performance is still like one of the most legendary ones I think I've seen.
You
Like,
think?
yeah, because his drum solo to me, like,
I like
was
Was
Janet
that one of those
Jackson's.
combo ones? They had a couple years where there was like combinations.
Yeah.
Like it's Beyonce and Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like
I think so, yeah.
okay,
Because he
alright.
came out and like had like this beginning drum solo and it was really good. I'll
Nice.
send you a link. I'll show
I like
you.
the Weekends a lot. I thought that was good. I know it was a weird COVID year one, but I thought he did a good job with that.
Yeah.
I'm not looking
So many
forward to
memes
this
came from
year's.
that one.
Exactly, yeah.
Dude, Usher,
Sure.
I'm like,
Oh, it's Usher.
what have you done for me lately? You know?
Dude, no, it's gonna be a surprise visit from Taylor Swift. We all know.
No, it's not, dude, because she has conflicting dates. She's going to be on tour somewhere.
She's gonna.
Yeah, but what
she's
if the
gonna-
Chiefs make the Super Bowl? She's got to go see her guy.
But
I see
see,
her man.
I
Dude,
would
I
start
love
to
that
think.
relationship so much.
I would start to think that it's rigged.
New royal
if,
family.
If the Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs ended up back in the Super Bowl for back-to-back year.
I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, anything
she's
can
a
happen
Philly
with those two
fan.
teams. Whatever, dude.
Just saying, dude.
Whatever.
Get Taylor Swift out of my NFL, dude. I'm a dad, Chad and Brad, dude.
I mean, spin zone here. I did see something, I think from Schefter or someone, about how the cap is expected to go up again because the NFL is having another record year. And part of me thinks some of that has to do with Taylor Swift, perhaps some of them market to a different demographic. Thus,
Easily.
Oh,
I
for
don't know
sure.
about your team, but my team could use a little more cap space.
Oh,
Oh,
I would
goodbye,
love some
Holden.
cap
Love you,
space.
bye.
Bye, Holden.
Yeah. Bye, Holden. Thanks for joining your podcast. No, yeah. So that being said, I don't know whose pick it is. Aaron, did you pick someone? You picked the Baltimore
yeah, I picked
Ravens?
Baltimore, and then Gabe picked Jacksonville,
I remember that. Yep.
and
Bias. Love it.
Holden is on Baltimore because he needs Lamar MVP and
That's right. That's right. So
1,000
now
yards.
it's to me.
Good
Dude,
memory.
I'm on
I try.
Baltimore, dude. I'm on Bodymore Murderland. Come on, man. Dude, against Duval, banged up T-Law. I don't know. Unless he uses that magical golden locks of his to heal, I don't really see it. I'm on Baltimore here. I'm going to take a -3.5. They've been good to me this year on spreads. I mean, would have been nice last week if it wasn't so close. But yeah, I'll definitely ride the flock here. But which brings us, I know, it's gross, it's disgusting. Aaron, I work up in DC. There's so many Ravens fans, and it's a lot sometimes. But I'm trying to decide: do I like them better when they're sad or when they're happy? You know?
You gotta like them humble, dude. You gotta like AFC North teams if they're not humble. If you're not careful, Cleveland fans when they're cocky, unbearable. Because they
I
know
just can't with that.
they know what pain is so much that they've eternalized it, and they want to spew all over everybody. because of how bad they've been in the past. And then Cincinnati, you know this. Cincinnati fans have been nothing but obnoxious since Joe Burrow finally got them close to a Super Bowl win.
I get it. He's handsome. He was a Heisman winner. He's from Ohio. He's good. Like, what else do you want?
I can't stand the TikTok comments that I see saying, "Oh, the Bengals will always be Big Brother," and I'm like, where the hell were you the past 2 decades? What are you talking about?
Dude, the Andy Dalton years, winning the division and going out first round every time.
Carson Palmer years? Oof.
Man, I think I got roasted once because I was like, Carson Palmer overrated, and what was it, Chad Ochocinco overrated, and I had like looked through the record books of like the mid 2000s, and I was like, okay, actually, they were kind of nice.
Kind of decent.
They're pretty good.
They were pretty good, especially Ochocinco for sure. Running on 3 legs.
I will say, if the Ravens and the Dolphins both went out up until New Year's Eve, that Week 17 game in Baltimore is going to be electric.
I mean, it already is huge, and that's another coin flip game for me because, like, I go back to a few years ago when, what was that? I think it was Lamar's rookie year or his MVP year where he torched y'all. But then I'm like, if there's a team that can get out to a nice lead and maybe just coast, that's Miami. But then Miami's kind of struggled against teams with a good defense, especially a good pass rush. So
wasn't it last season that you guys played a barn burner game like kind of early, like week 5 or something like that?
It was week 2 last year, also in Baltimore. They were up 35-14. Miami came back and won 42-35.
That was huge.
Which was Tua had the 6 touchdown game, and that was kind of the start of my like, oh my God, Mike McDaniel might know what he's doing. So
yeah, and especially when you had him on your fantasy team.
I have the Tua Tyreek stack this year, and let me tell you, that's been excellent.
That's awesome. I love that for you. That's especially when you're a fan of your team. You're like,
it's like I'm winning in fantasy and I'm winning in my actual fandom.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, golly, that's incredible. All right, well, it brings us to our last pick here. Monday Night Football. Philadelphia. This game got flexed, I believe, a couple weeks back. I don't know what it got flexed in place of, but Philly's going to travel to the West Coast to play Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks lost a tough one. Can y'all remind me why Gino was out? This injury?
He had like a pop-up, like not concussion, but like his shoulder flared up again.
Okay, all right. Drew Lock didn't look half bad. I kind of like that for him. Yeah. So, Gabe, where are you on this game? Philly favored minus 3.5.
Coming into the season, I actually had picked Seattle to win the division over San Francisco. So I love the Seattle team. I like Pete Carroll. But Philly, they're going to be pissed off coming off a loss that bad to Dallas.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick Philly. I think it'll be a really close game. I think Seattle's kind of fighting for their playoff life as well, and
yes,
we all know how loud it can get in Seattle. But I'm gonna pick the Eagles to win.
Whoa, I like that, Aaron.
Yeah, I think Philly can't have this big of a skid. Right, and like I know Seattle had played well against the Cowboys, and I guess played okay against San Francisco. I actually heard that in the like pregame plan to leading up to that week, Shanahan showed videos of DK Metcalf freaking out, like on the field, like for the past 3 weeks, or just having outbursts. And he was like, "I got to get Christmas presents to the first person who makes DK lose his mind," and it was like, are we doing mental warfare right now? Like, what is this?
A war of attrition. It's a war of attrition, Aaron.
I mean, like,
any edge you can get.
I get the frustrations, but dude, DK has been like weirdly aggro. Am I
steroids.
wrong?
I mean, look at his physique.
I mean, hey, the drug test. Come on, Goodell. Random.
Absolutely random. Yeah, he broke the helmet warmer. I was like, that's coming out of your paycheck.
Oh yeah,
that's a fine. Team fine right there.
That's a fine.
Yeah, come on.
But yeah, give me Philly and a bounce back. I know they're not at home, and the 12th man is always kind of hard to play against, but I don't see Philly losing 3 straight.
Yeah, that is a tough one. It's a tough slide for them. Should have been 4 with the Bills, but whatever. I'm over it. Not really. Yeah, Holden's on Philly here. Surprisingly. It confirms my theory. He definitely hates Dallas more than Philly. I'm on the Birds here. I do like this Philly team. I like Jalen Hurts. I like a lot of their components. Their head coach. Good team. Great sports city, especially if you're a fan of any of their sports teams. If not, it's a rough day. Yeah, I see them bouncing back. The Seattle team kind of has some question marks. They're definitely fighting. They're on the bubble at 6-7, third in the NFC West. But yeah, and I'm definitely going to take Philly minus 3.5, especially because last week Seattle lost to another team that plays kind of a more physical brand of football. That being said,
Very true.
them's the picks. Now we're on to best bets. Gabe, I don't know if you're a gambler or not. If you want one, you can. If you're not, don't force it. It's all good. Aaron, do you want to start us off?
Yeah. I'm gonna
Give Gabe a second.
I'm gonna do a couple of spread picks and then a money line parlay.
Nice.
Can you pull up FanDuel real quick and see if you
Dude,
can calculate the spreads
dude,
for me?
I'm doing the math.
Beep boop bop.
Bop, bop, beep, beep, ba-da-ba-da, bop. Yeah.
All right, so I'm taking
Is
Pittsburgh.
You're taking the spreads?
Spreads first. So
Is
I'm
it a
taking
spread parlay or just spread straight up?
spread straight.
Okay.
I'm taking Pittsburgh plus 2.5. I am
Okay.
taking where was it? Miami minus 10.5. And then I am taking 49ers minus 13.5. I don't know if that's too many points, but I think they hit that amount last game
They did.
against Seattle. So I think they should be pretty good.
Well, they didn't hit that many points, but the last time they played Arizona, they did beat them by a wide margin.
Okay.
More than that.
Okay. And then for the money line parlay, I am going Rams. Fuck it, dude, I had this up. Detroit. And surprisingly enough, I'm going to take the Bengals, albeit Browning does need to start. And
Whoa.
then Green Bay.
Wow, big spreads here. Wait, was that your money line? I'm sorry.
That was money line.
What was the money line?
Okay, so Green Bay.
Go in reverse. Yeah, Green
Lions.
Bay. The Lions. Hold up. Go. Okay, go.
And then I said, oh shit, I forgot. Hold on.
Oh no! It wasn't the Bengals, was it?
Yes, Bengals was on there.
Okay.
I think
how many teams was it? God,
it was four. It's four.
Okay, one more. Was it the Steelers?
No, I didn't take their money line.
Chiefs, Falcons, Dolphins. I'm just keep listing names. Saints, Niners, Rams, Baltimore, Philly. Gosh darn it, Aaron.
Gabe, do you remember? I totally
I don't.
Gosh. Yeah.
Man. All right.
You just want to keep it a 3-teamer?
Yeah, keep it a 3-team right now.
Okay, Aaron's moneyline parlay: Green Bay, Detroit, Cincy. Mash them up all together. You get plus 246 for your money. Wow, dude, you're beating out my moneyline parlay that I always do. Gabe, you got a bet, or you want me to go?
You can go ahead.
All right, here it is. So I'd give you one spread, my best spread bet. I'm a biased guy. I'm not gonna lie. If I didn't need a lot of these AFC teams to lose, especially the Dolphins, I would pick them. So if you like that better, go ahead and go with it. But that being said, I'm gonna take San Fran. Just a hot team. I know Arizona's off a bye. I know the last time they played them, I think Josh Dobbs was the starting quarterback. But I think they'll find a way to lay 13.5. They just will. That being said, my money line parlay, and I just checked all the most up-to-date lines here. Baltimore, Los Angeles Rams, San Fran, Miami money lines. It's going to be plus 220. So I feel pretty confident about that. It didn't hit last week. Houston really screwed that for me. That's okay. This is a new week. We're going to have a good week. Gabe?
I think I'm going to go with Bengals covering 3.5 against the Vikings. Playing at home, the Vikings offense hasn't done anything of note the last couple weeks.
I love
that. And Jake Browning's looked pretty good, and I think the Bengals can win that game by a touchdown or if not more. So that's my pick.
Yeah. Love that. And Holden just sent me that shocking news. His phone died.
Yeah.
Gotta be prepared. You gotta be prepared to play the game or do the pod. Anyway, he says he's gonna take Sam Howell over on passing yards. Which, hey, why not? Sure, that sounds fun. Well, That being said, you got the picks, you got the bets. Gabe, thank you so much for joining us again.
Yes.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Dude.
Yeah, thank y'all for having me. I always love talking to y'all. And as for tonight, fins up, baby. Let's go beat those Titans.
Yeah, absolutely. Put him in the ground. D-Hop, please. 20 points. 20 points.
I don't know. Jalen Ramsey is he's back and he's playing well.
I know. I honestly was hoping it would be like week 1 against us when he was on the Rams and just be burnt toast, but nope, he's looking good, and I'm not a fan, but that's okay. All right, guys. Well, hope you win all your bets, and we'll see you next week.
Go Steelers!
Fins up, baby.
Go Bills.
We still